So it's going to force a lot of companies to have to shift focus. And it's kind of what the internet did, right? You have to rapidly rethink, reconfigure what you're selling, how you're making money.
Yeah, and some companies will really not like that. For example, there's no CLI for Google. So I had to have to do anything myself and build GOG. That's like a CLI for Google. And at the end user, they have to give me the emails because otherwise I cannot use their product. If I'm a company and I try to get Google data, Gmail, there's a whole complicated process to the point where sometimes startups acquire startups that went through that process, so they don't have to work with Google for half a year to be certified to being able to access Gmail. But my agent can access Gmail because I can just connect to it. It's still crappy because I need to go through Google's developer jungle to get a key, and it's still annoying, but they cannot prevent me. And worst case, my agent just clicks on the website and gets the data out that way.
Through browser use.
Yeah, I mean, I watch my agent happily click the "I'm not a robot" button. And there's this whole that's gonna be more heated. You see companies like Cloudflare that try to prevent bot access, and in some ways that's useful for scraping, but in other ways, if I'm a personal user, I want that. Sometimes I use Codex and I read an article about modern React patterns, and it's like a Medium article. I paste it in and the agent can't read it because they block it. So I have to copy paste the actual text. Or in the future, I learned that maybe I don't click on Medium because it's annoying, and I use other websites that actually are agent friendly. So
there's going to be a lot of powerful, rich companies fighting back. So it's really interesting. You're at the center. You're the catalyst, the leader, and happen to be at the center of this kind of revolution where it's going to completely change how we interact with services, with the web. And so, there's companies like Google, they're going to push back. I mean, there's every major company you can think of is going to push back.
Even search. I now use, I think, Perplexity or Brave as providers because Google really doesn't make it easy to use Google without Google. I'm not sure if that's the right strategy, but I'm not Google.
Yeah, there's a nice balance from a big company perspective, because if you push back too much for too long, you become Blockbuster and you lose everything to the Netflixes of the world. But some pushback is probably good during a revolution to see.
But you see that this is something that the people want.
Right.
So
yes,
if I'm on the go, I don't want to open a calendar app. I want to tell my agent, hey, remind me about this dinner tomorrow night, and maybe invite 2 of my friends, and then maybe send a WhatsApp message to my friend. And I don't want a need to open apps for that. I think that we passed that age, and now everything is much more connected and fluid if those companies want it or not. And I think the right companies will find ways to jump on the train, and other companies will perish.